Hey guys, it's Jake from Wani, and I'm here with Markus Vanhala from Omnium Gatherum. Markus, how are you going?
Hello. It's really cool here at home.
So we're here to talk about Omnium Gatherum, and Omnium Gatherum is releasing a new album at the end of this month, Burning Cold. This is the first album that you guys are releasing globally on Century Media Records, and you're about 8 albums into your career now. So I guess we'll start off by asking, what's it feel like to be releasing new music 22 years on from when you first started this journey?
We never count the years or the albums, so hearing from you that it's 22 years and 8 albums always sounds scary, but it doesn't change anything because it's always as cool feeling to release a new album as it was when we released the first album. And at the moment the buzz is again really waiting. We are really happy with the album. I'm proud with this album that we really honestly think it's the finest hour of Omnium Gatherum. It's the only way to do new stuff, so we are really waiting how the world will treat us.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been able to get our hands on a copy and had a listen through, and it's a really good album. It's very diverse, and we'll cover more of that as we go on. But yeah, I guess in your own words, how would you describe what you think the fans are going to get when they listen to the Burning Cold for the first time?
It's a good metal album. It's really hard always to describe your own baby, but it's really Omnium Gatherum kind of stuff, but we tried to do it a little bit more catchy and compact album this time, and so we basically made a little bit more shorter songs and kind of like catchier melodies, and we really tried to boost Omnium Gatherum as a compact form here. And style-wise, it's this weird combination of OG's melodic death metal, which is at the same time it's really melodic and at the same time really aggressive. Perfect marriage of melodic and aggression. That's how we love it. And people have asked how would you describe OG's style to a guy who never heard before? And I just yesterday got this really stupid thing, like if you mix At the Gates and Journey and breed it with Finnish melancholy, then you might be near what we are doing on our soup.
Yeah, so musically wise, the elements on this album, as you mentioned, it is very melodic. It still feels very Omnium Gatherum-y, but there's a little bit of a difference to what the fans are normally accustomed to, and you sort of touched on that a little bit when you were talking about the song lengths being shorter and then being a bit catchier, but there's still a ton of harmony, obviously, from your guitar and the keyboard sections and that, but it feels different in the scheme of the band's history. So what different approaches has the band taken towards this album over earlier albums?
We haven't made exactly any conscious thoughts that what we are going to do. It's basically always like doing what feels right and natural, and I kind of find some weird kind of freedom with this album process. Like, these songs came out really easily and I didn't need to thought that much. Like, for example, Grey Heavens was kind of a really hard album for me to write, but this album it came out really easily. So I guess this is more honest stuff then, and it's kind of a picture of the music that is influencing us as a band, and this is what came out. It's always been like you said, the guitar work is really melodic, and then the aggression comes through Jukka's vocals, and it's always not to make too melodic cheesy music. It's like we still like to call ourselves death metal, and I think the death word comes basically from Jukka's vocals.
and that's actually a really good point for one of my next questions, because one of my favourite tracks on the album is Rest in Your Heart, which it sort of sees Yuka doing a little bit of a different sort of singing style, more of a spoken sort of style on there. How did that sort of come about?
From his mouth. There's few songs have been before where have been this Yuka spoken words, at least like Infinite Mind from New World Shadows, but because this song is such a poppy metal song, it just works out that Yuka is not growling all the time. It makes diversity, that there's a little bit spoken word, and somehow that song I was influenced in a weird way, like bands like Mew and Car Park North on that Rest in Your Heart song, and maybe you can really hear it on the ending section of the song.
Yeah, definitely. It does have a really good outro, and like coming from Refining Fire, which is that very, as you mentioned before, that sort of aggressive, really in-your-face, melodic sort of death metal style, and then going to Rest in Your Heart is a really good and interesting sort of, bit of diversity on the album.
Yeah, I really tried to make like a diverse collection of songs on this album. I really gave attention to what kind of songs I have already brought and what kind of songs this album is missing, so that it's nice that you find that the songs are really different from each other in OG format. Like you said, Refining Fire, that's really usual old school Omnium Gatherum song, and that will be in fact the next video song from the album that will be released in a week. I just watched the finished video like yesterday, and it will be a really cool video, but that's like a basic Omnium Gatherum song in my opinion. In fact, there's pretty old riffs on Refining Fire too. Some riffs are as far as from beyond album sessions, so it's the grandpa of the album.
Now, I know that every band mentions it each time that they're on a media trail releasing new music, but on this record in particular, it feels like you've found a songwriting formula that works incredibly well, and I guess even more so than the preceding albums, and you've mentioned some of the difficulties that you had while writing Grey Heavens, but what were the differences in the songwriting process this time round over, say, Grey Heavens, or even going as far back to an album like New World Shadows?
Well, if speaking for the new album, New World Shadows is already that old album. I don't remember anything about writing that. No, joking. But for the biggest change for this new album was like we got a new drummer, new engine for the band called Tuomo Latvala, and he joined the band at first as like a session live drummer right after Grey Heavens, and he did all the shows supporting Grey Heavens album. And then when our old drummer just decided that he is unable to continue anymore on the band, then it was like a natural choice to take Tuomo as an official member for the band. And I think he's been the key character on the album, that we kind of like, we felt ourselves like a group of young guys since a long time, because always when you get fresh blood in the band, it gives you a boost and different kind of energy, and Tuomo is really positive person, and he really kicked our asses on this album. So we had kind of resurrection in the band spirit, and I think that it's one of the main points why the Burning Cold is sounding fresh album, even we are old band.
Yeah, no, that's actually good that you mentioned that. That was one of the things that I was going to ask, how Tuomo's been involved in the band, and especially in the recording on this album, so it's good that you addressed that. Now, there was one...
It's been funny on the Grey Heavens gigs, as the Tuomo is looking like Jarmo they both are bald guys with a beard, and on many Grey Heavens gigs, nobody knew that we have a different drummer because they look a lot same. So that was a funny point on touring that album. But now on the new album, people might see that this guy have a different name.
Yeah. Now there was one song I was surprised not to see on the album, even in like a special format. It was the single "Blade Reflections," which you guys released late last year. Why did you not include that one on the Burning Cold?
Blade Reflections was actually already recorded on the Grey Heavens sessions, and we decided to keep that as a one-off single track because in nowadays digital music world, people forget your face and name quickly, so you need this kind of single releases between the albums, and that was also a Century Media's thought that let's do this single between the albums so people will don't forget your name. And then again, Blade Reflections was already a little bit old song, so we didn't basically wanted to include it on the album because it have a different aspect and it's not a part of the Burning Cold song family. So that's why it's just a one-off single video song. But it will be, of course, Japanese people always need more than another people, so I heard that Blade Reflections will be released in a Japanese version of The Burning Cold as a bonus song.
Well, that's something to
so everyone should go to eBay or Japanese record stores and buy the Japanese version, and there you have it.
Yeah. Now, talking about The Burning Cold, so any Omnium Gatherum fan that's ever taken, I guess, even the smallest sort of interest in having a look inside the record liners on the album will have probably seen the name Teemu Aalto. He's been your producer on albums going back to Years in Waste in 2004. So why, I guess in this sort of an industry where bands are quite often changing producers to try and harness new energy, what is it that is so special about Teemu and the way that he works with Omnium Gatherum that makes you guys keep going back?
We are Finnish people, we don't want to meet any new people. We are antisocials. Well, it's kind of why change some formula which works really well and it's easy to work. Teemu have some kind of grown to be one of us, and we are in that way we are weird band that we love to use the same team. We have Dan Svano have mixed our albums already 10 years, and this is the 5th album Dan Svano is mixing, and Teemu have recorded albums since Years in Waste, so it's already almost 15 years we've been working with Teemu. And Olli Lappalainen have made all our artwork since the first demo, and also the same photographer Jari Heino have took a lot of our previous band pictures, so we just like to keep it in the family, as we have this great group of people that are working really well with us, so why change them?
Yeah,
it's nice and easy to have this family around you. And I also spoke with Century Media label manager Jens about this mixing issue, that what are your opinion, should we change mixing guy just to little bit get a new sound, but Jens was thinking the same that me, that it's Dan Svano have really good ear for Omnium Gatherum, and we sound unique in that way. So also he said that don't change the mixing guy, because so many bands are using the same producers or mixing guys. At the moment, Jens Bogren makes tons of records, and most of them are having really, if you are playing same genre, they are sounding exactly the same, and different bands. And back in the 90s, all the metal bands have their unique sound, and you can immediately, when you hear some riff, you can immediately say this is Obituary, this is Entombed, this is whatever, Ball Thrower. I I like that kind of attitude that you have your own sound and not like listening some metal record and you just check out the credits and it says some guy and you are thinking, I want to sound like this band. That's boring and that makes stereotypes. So that's basically my point of view on this issue, that we like to keep things how we've done it before.
Yeah, no, it's a good point to make, and it actually leads a little bit into the next question that I had. So you spoke about Century Media, and this is obviously the first album that you guys are doing that's being released globally via Century Media. So how important has that relationship been for the band to enable the band to reach their goals for this album?
Of course, we have high hopes for them, the work, because we did past 3 albums for a smaller label, Life Force Records, and they did really good work, but small label have small machinery, so now we have more muscles behind us, because Century Media is like a global label and of Sony music, and they have a lot of people working, and so of course we are hoping they will do good work and pushing us onwards, because we as a band have made a huge amount of work with the past 10 years. We have been touring a lot, and of course when you are doing more job you always want the more muscles working for you as a label, so that's a natural step for us to try to be on the bigger label.
Yeah, fair enough.
As the main plan is to conquer the world.
and
or something.
And that is actually a perfect lead into the last question that we've got, Markus. Touring in support of the album. Now, I know that you're a busy person, you're involved in 2 really successful bands, but so far it seems like the rest of the year is already booked out in support of the Burning Cold. So you've got Summer Breeze Festival in a couple of weeks' time, and then you're heading out on a massive tour of the United States with Amorphous, Dark Tranquillity and Moonspell, before closing out the year with a European tour alongside Wolfheart and Northgard. So what can Omnium Gatherum fans expect in terms of touring next year, and are there any locations that you haven't yet toured that you're hoping that this album will take you to?
Well, you know that we haven't played in Australia yet, but at the moment we are working on it, and there's going to be a lot more touring in the springtime. We are playing in the places that this first leg of the tour don't take us, so we are really working hard that we get ourselves also to Australia and Asia, and we've already confirmed the full metal cruise for Mediterranean Ocean and all kind of little things. So we've kind of planned that tours a lot, so you can expect us to tour a lot also with the Burning Cold, and I think this album hopefully takes us again to new places where we haven't been.
Wonderful. Markus, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jake.